See how this goes now. See if you guys can hear me or not any better. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh, wow. Okay, I'll dial that back. I got a new microphone, so I'm just trying to see if it's going to be too loud. You guys hear me? Oh, wow. Okay, I'll dial that back. I got a new microphone, so I'm just trying to see if it's going to be too loud. Turn that down so it doesn't feedback. There we go. OG, did you get that ofna buggy out at all? Hey, Joe. Oh, hold on one sec. They can't see you. This way. Thanks, Dave. Sorry. That's a special delivery. I got to fix my kids' AC after this. Wait till everybody starts showing up, and then we can start talking about my favorite subject, ofna stuff. Hey, Bob. Ooh, this mic's a little loud. Maybe I'll just try setting it down on the desk here. There, how's that? I want the verses, but not the turbo. Would you want the VS? You mean, but not the Turbo 30? The Turbo 30 is I don't know. I don't think it's cranky. The worst thing about the Turbo 30 was the carburetor was shit. If you put an OS carburetor on that Turbo 30, it turns into a decent engine. That's actually what Joe's going through right now. I sent him an old VG carburetor, and it made it smartened it right up because that yeah the your factory carburetor on the OG on the VS turbo is a horrible carburetor. It just doesn't tune right. It's far too cranky, and it's like an old Harley. I'll bring the first buggy to talk. I'll bring something different down here. Hold on. Oh, sorry if I was just giving myself an ice cream headache. Oh, Jesus. Whew. I agree, Joe. I think that 30 is comparable to a LRP with the right carburetor. I think it's because it's got lots of ports. It revs out just as good. It's just the carburetor is just so crappy. A good alternative to that Novorossi carb though is that old VG carb. Believe it or not, and if you can find those, there's lots of those old VGs kicking around, blown up. So they're actually uh, pretty nice old carbs. I found more than a few kind of at swap meets and stuff that need rebuilds and shit, and then I just harvest them for parts. All right, we'll talk about some the new LRP carb. Yeah, the new LRP carb is good. The old LRP carb, not so much, but the new one actually is pretty good. I actually and the new Spec 4 carb will fit on the older Spec 2, and it works pretty good. Like that's what's on my other buggy is the Spec 4 carb is on the Spec 2 engine, and it works really good. No, I didn't make it with the Freon. It's just a Timmy's uh, ice cap, and but I drank it too fast. Hey, too. Thanks for that, though. That's funny. So I will actually take a quick sec before I start talking about these buggies. Anybody that's buying these buggies to just beat around or for testing and stuff like that, these are Amazon tires. And if anybody goes back through my older videos for any of these, I did a comparison with a set of these and a set of Pro Line. And these fucking tires, I don't know what they're made out of, but they're fairly soft yet. But they don't go away. I've run them on asphalt tons, especially this one, and they're just like new. They come not glued, but I don't know what they're made out of, but they don't seem to ever disappear, and they're super cheap. They're like $27 Canadian for the set of four with the wheels, so they're super cheap, but they're they're worth it if you just want a set for just like testing purposes, even just to have some fun with, and then you want to keep your good pro lines for running in the dirt because me and OG were talking about that a little bit because he's got those blue tires, blue and yellows on his ofna buggy, and they're so soft they'll just disappear on the ground. But these are great alternatives to run, and they're cheap. Hey, John, thanks for coming, buddy. Happy Sunday, to everybody. Thanks so much for coming. Hey, Compass, said hi to Bob. Everybody's man, it's great. I got 10 people already. That's awesome, guys. Thanks for coming. So this is why I'm trying to remember what model this is. It's not the Pro. I think it's not the TQ. There's one other one in there. Um, the it's the one with the stand up servo, not the lay down servo. The lay down servo for steering is it lays down this way is actually the TQ, and this is this. I think this is a Pro. Uh, the but it's a C hub car. This one I affectionately call the bird poop buggy. I got this one from a guy that got it rescued it out of a barn, and it had been sitting for a long time, and it was all fucked up. It had a big red in it that was so bastardized. and so messed up that actually the big red's in a truggy now, but it was I had to completely rebuild it. It was done. This is a brand new Hyper 21 out of an SS turbo that I got from Jenny's. And then between that one and some of the pieces that I had, because it was just a short block that I put it together, and I actually found the original Hyper 21 ofna head protector. If you guys can see that, but I actually have one more of these in the bag still. If anybody needs one. What is it? A chub? What do you mean there? Oh, gee, I'm not quite sure I follow. Looks like a pro. Yeah, I think it is a pro. I think you're right. I think that is a pro. Because the TQ is the one with the lay down steering servo, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it's a C hub car. Yeah, not pillow glove. Not PBS. No. This one actually, I found a super vintage dynamite pipe and header matching at a hobby store, new old stock. That's what's on this one. Um, and I think I had to change the tank with one of my used ones because the tank was actually busted right out of this thing. Um, but it's a great old kit. Like this Hyper 21 is doesn't have the most bottom end grunt on the face of the earth, but it actually revs out like a bugger. It's a screamer for sure. And then I did put I think it's got a 13 tooth bell on it with an associated clutch. These are great kits. Uh, the diff oils and everything have all been done. I think you got 5,000 in the front and rear, 7,000 in the center. Uh, it's a great rig. Thanks. They are the original ofna shocks. They've been rebuilt. They even still have the booties in them. Um, the this all is still the original servo boxes and trays and everything. It's got an upgraded radio system in it. The same radio system, that Radio Link stuff, which I run on most of my stuff. Um, it's a great old kit. But these pro kits, they're pretty good. The guy who owned it before me, the only bad thing is he hacked this out a bunch for a steering box, which is unfortunate. I run a pull start on it now, obviously. Um, but it's not that beat up considering he didn't get a chance to do too bad a job on destroying it before I got it. The original wheels and tires were pretty bad. The body, this is actually a brand new body. It was never installed on anything that I got from a guy in at a swap meet. So it's like brand new. Uh, The only thing is, when it did have that big red in it, I made the mistake of cutting the engine cooling head out too big so that it could fit on this properly. But it was I should have never left the big red in there, and that's why you can see it's a little big around the full start. Full start fits out through there. Thank you. I like these old early '90s bodies. I did not do this. This was done unfortunately before I got this body, but the uh, the I like these old. Actually, this is. I got my bodies mixed up. This is not my new one. My new one is actually on my LRP. Um, uh, buggy. Hey SLC, how's it going? Yeah, this pipe. I like this old dynamite pipe. I wish I could have found more of them at that hobby store. There's actually a swap meet coming up in Calgary on the 13th, and any of these guys, any guys that are in and around that area in Canada, I recommend going because sometimes you find some pretty good stuff there. These are good platforms. I actually ended up picking this up from that fella who got it thinking he was going to get into the hobby, and this one was too far over um, his capabilities, and he gave up on it. Just completely gave up on it, and I ended up buying it off of him for kind of a compass deal. So for like I think I paid $40 for it or something like that. But the engine was baked, had the wrong fuel tank, servos were fucked, radio gear was trash, tires were shot, and there was all kinds of stuff wrong with it. And it just needed a straight up good going over. And he didn't have the means or the ability to deal with it. So this is where I got this one from. We'll get the next one. This is a good one to show the differences now. I just showed the Hyper 7. This is the Hyper 8. Oh, this one's a little dirty. I just had it out yesterday. Um, this one's a full bump OS speed 8, OS speed 0.21 with the newer dynamite pipe on. But you can see, man, is this thing dirty? Hold on a sec. But you can see the whole carbon fiber top plate. It has the aluminum Hyper 8 battery cover. Has the newer style air filter that lays down sideways. The bigger fuel tank, it's wider, kind of sits out underneath this wing. And then the strut towers are a big difference too. You see how thick they are. They're and they have bracing all across the front, and it even says, flip it around, Hyper 8 underneath here. This thing is an absolute beast. Just sails so nice in the air. These are another set of Amazon wheels, OG. So again, these have been run on asphalt a ton. Look, there's still lots of pins left on it. Like I said, I have no idea what they do, what kind of rubber they're made out of, but they grip good in the field and to have some fun with, and they don't seem to go away. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but they are impressive, and they're super cheap. Yeah, these are a fantastic engine. Anybody that has a chance to get these engines, um, these OS speed engines, they're amazing, like absolutely amazing. I got this engine was actually repinched by Drake. Um, the uh, the and it's on its second life. It's super fast, revs to the moon. Great rig. Yeah, I count on that compass when I go that somebody doesn't know what this buggy. Actually, the guy that was selling this was a pro racer who was originally sponsored by ofna back in the day, and when hyper was a thing, and he got up and got sponsored by Associated. So he was selling off all of his ofna stuff, or all of his hyper stuff back because he raced for hyper in 2006. But I love the paint scheme on the body is super nice. Um, it's really well done. Very heavy. The bodies are very heavy for both of them. I actually have two identical Hyper 8s. Well, they're not identical, different paint jobs, different color schemes, but they're both Hyper 8s. all Savox servos, both of them. Um, they both they both rock. They're both amazing. One of them actually has a cracked shock tower. It's over there. It's still together. It's just cracked. Yeah, I had a small runaway with the other one, and before I changed the servos over, and it nailed the tire in my truck, and right here, and it folded the strut tower back here. I just about cried. Oh, really? I didn't watch the S Works and Associated. That's good to know. The buggy I got coming for my birthday, that's actually in the house that I ordered for myself for my birthday from my wife is the new Associated buggy with brand new reds and a brand new reds clutch and bell to go with it. That's my birthday present to myself. So when that rolls around, I'll be building that kit. Off the truck, what do you for what, Joe? Yeah, I say it's a hell of a present to myself. But you only turn 50 once, so I figured it was a good gift to myself. But it's a brand new associated buggy with a brand new Reds and a brand new the actually I'm curious Reds. I figured as a group it'll be really interesting to see because I bought the pre-broken Reds 521 with the pipe. Hey Travis, where can you buy the S Works from? I think A Main sells the S Works as well. I think they sell them all. I think they sell the everything, but I think the Hobeo stuff. Um, but they sell the S Works. They sell the Associated. The all of them. I think Techno, um, Mugen. The tire problems at the world. What tires were they running? Compass? Do you know? I'd be curious to know if it was pro. What was a nightmare? I missed that. OG. Oh, the Associated buggy took first. Were the what shit did they do on purpose? I missed the race completely. I wished I hadn't, but I missed it. Was it? It was basically an on-road course. Ooh, that'd be tough on buggies. I tell you what, be lots of high RP. Be a test to make sure your engine actually holds together. Oh, why is my screen going all screwy? It went all digital. Everybody can see the stuff okay. It looked all shitty there for a second. That's kind of disheartening though when it ends like that, because then it's no longer a true test of skill. It's just a test of endurance. So when you talk about ofna buggies, this is kind of my biggest baddest buggy. This is actually the brand new body that I was referring to. So when I bought those two Hyper Eights, it came with this body, was brand new, didn't even have the engine hole cut. So this is my LRP 32 powered buggy. Oh, it's all shitty looking again. I wonder if it's just because I may have to disconnect this mic there, fellas, because I think I might have to hook up power. Know if the picture quality kind of goes for a crapper. So this one I think is another Pro as well, actually. But this one is the one that I made LRP 32 fit in it. So anybody wants to, and it has the JP1 pipe on it. These are the Amazon Truggy shocks because of the weight of this thing, with the .32 and everything. These are great shocks, but I had to do some interesting stuff to get them to fit properly. But the so anybody that wants to put one of these .32s in a bucket, uh, in this one, I did show the video before. Not sure if you guys are interested in hearing how that goes in there or not, but I actually, I have the JP2 and I have the JP1, and I don't have the JP3, but I actually like the JP1 better. It's a little bit shorter, and I find it works pretty good. Yeah, the JP2 is a pretty good all around. I actually have that on one of my truggies, and it seems to be pretty good in the mid of everything. But the JP1 seems to work really well with this point too. This thing will just tear the tires off it. And then another topic on tires. So these are the Ava. What are these ones? These are the. Geez, I've worn this thing. Well, these are Proline Dirt Hogs. These are great tires as well for a buggy. If you're not racing, but they're super good. Trying to think of what's the other one that is different. I showed you guys the Jammin' buggy the other week, so you don't need to see that one again. I mean, unless you guys want to see it again, in which case I get it. What's my favorite buggy? Actually, the one that I just got from right now that I've been running, and it's actually my Techno. The cross between the Techno and actually my Thunder Tiger S3. Well, those two are probably my favorite, and my Mugen is probably a close third. I love my hypers, but I don't run them. My hyper eights are definitely my favorite over the seven. And I know we said we talk about buggies, but this is my Techno. Actually got the nitro addiction that I had out yesterday. Anybody that follows the SOS forums saw this on a video yesterday. It's still pretty dirty from yesterday. I haven't had a chance to clean it yet. Um, but this thing is super fun, man. It's such a great kit. It's so solid. It's so well balanced, and it is just so much. It's so much fun. Like I did not take it easy on it yesterday uh, down there. What's the better kit? I from a couple different people. The new techno buggy is supposed to be like the one that everybody's making the biggest fuss over right now. Um, it apparently it's supposed to be the new best thing. I'll tell you what though, the techno buggy is definitely built more solid than everything else. Like check out the control arms. Sorry, check out the control arms. They're solid on the bottom. Like there's no openings for shit in there. Like this thing's built like a tank. Um, it's a solid piece of work. I could see why when they talk about the buggies, definitely up there in their rating. I could see why because they're just built like a tank. The control arm, like you look at the strut towers, they're all connected to the top. There's no big fork in the top so that shit can flex. They're just a solid piece of stuff. You like the Losi buggy, OG? I have a Losi buggy. I like them too. They're just for whatever reason they're just not as my favorite. I like that Serpent buggy actually better. But anybody that wants to talk about a good solid RTR though, this I can't speak highly enough about this thing. It is pretty right out of the box. It has been trouble free, and I have put probably a gallon through this thing, and it still looks like brand new. And this Dynamite 21, I know that the Dynamite 28 is pretty good, but this Dynamite 21, I've had a couple of these Dynamite 21s now. And my other one that I had, I actually gave to a friend of mine because he blew his engine up. And this thing is solid. I mean, yeah, this is the RTR, so it doesn't have the adjustable piece on and shit like that. But it is, it's still the original tires, it's still everything. You can upgrade the engine, you can do whatever you wanted with it. I kind of left it stock as it is because I just kind of like that theme. But somebody's just trying to get into the hobby, the the low C8 is actually a great one to start with. Like it's got the quick release fuel cap. Um, it's got a good pipe on it. It handles well. Is it as fast as some of the other ones? No, but are parts easy to get? Absolutely. It is, and things come up used, guys just like ditch them, and I can't even believe it. Like I've seen these things come up for sale with hardly any use on them for like $100, and I wish if they came up anywhere close to me at that price, I'd run around and grab them. But yeah, the MP10 RTR is pretty good too. I actually have that buggy as well. And it is good as well. But this one for the price point, like this thing right now, I think on A main, I think it's under $400. I think like $360 or something like that. For an RTR, like it's ready to go. There's Spectrum gear in it. It's not the fanciest in the world, but it runs solid. Guys, I think that uh, Mike is taking up the too much data on my phone for the stream. If you guys, if I turn, I'm going to turn this mic off and see how it sounds, and you guys let me know if you can't hear me anymore. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys still hear me? There we go. Picture better this way. Uh, I think that must have been doing something to my sound. We'll have to, it was before. I'll just speak louder. I'll move you closer. How's that? There we go. Lower you down a bit. There. That looks a little better. You did, John. It was in here. That thing is a beast, man. I love that thing. Uh, I I run it quite a bit. It's still one of my favorites. I've been having some problems with the clutch on it, but other than that, I got that sorted out the other day when I was running it. I bet you I've put almost a gallon through that thing already. Techno is new king of the market. I think techno is the new king. To be honest with you, I think that the Mugen. I'll go grab a Mugen so you guys can see it. You know what? I never realized till I grabbed this thing how much lighter it is than the Techno buggy. It is substantially lighter. So the Mugen body, you guys can see I actually painted this body. I used Woogie's method for painting the body. It kind of fades from red to orange. It's actually a super cool way to do it. And then I backed it with silver. But you see it fades red to orange. It actually turned out pretty good. But you can see the Mugen is this is an Orion 0.21 with an Orion pipe. This thing was like brand new when I got it. It has Ava tires on it and wheels and Savic servos. It's almost like brand new, but again, it's pretty beefy. You can see all the control arms. This is actually a pickleball car, a PBS car, but it handles amazing. The Orion engines are hard to find. This one was brand new when I got this thing. This thing was just a showroom piece for a hobby store, and I happened to go in there, and the guy was like, "Yeah, we're getting out of all Mugen stuff, so we're gonna flog the Mugen." It had never been run. It was put together for a display shelf, and that was it. And then and I actually bought it that way. Even if you look, it has like a CV shaft in the center. Right there, you can see the CV joints, front and rear that way. They're just a really well built. Like this is a big LiPo battery on the side. The engine has crazy compression. You got to preheat the shit out of this thing, or it won't even. It'll just smoke the starter box. Instantaneous throttle response. It's just amazing. It's just like bing, like just super fast. Yeah, to find the engine and the pipe as a match set with the buggy, like I said, brand new, never run. It was assembled by a hobby store and never used. The original tires that were on this, I nuked the first set. This is the second set of tires that are on it now. Yeah, I completely trashed the first set. This is a super great buggy though. I like this thing. It's got a nice big fuel tank on it. It runs. It's rude, man. I tell you, it's just rude. I haven't actually driven this one for a little while. It had sitting, like I said, it was on a shelf when I got it. It didn't even have the body. It's. I think I paid. Which Mugen is it? It's the. Oh man, I suck with the names sometimes. It's the MBRX8, I think. Don't correct me if I got that wrong, but it's the 8 anyway. And you can actually still get parts for this and the tech fairly easily. I haven't had any problems trying to get bits and pieces for either one. Yes, this is the same Mugen that Drake runs. And I could see why he runs it, because this thing going across the field stays perfectly horizontal, even though the field's all beat to shit. And this thing will handle the bumps and jumps and lumps and stuff. Doesn't get airborne, doesn't kick up the ass end. It flies super straight. MVX8, that's what it is. Yeah, thank you. That's not the MBX8 you said? I'm pretty sure it is. I'd have to look in my phone, but it's videoing right now. But I'm sure it is the MBX. It's not the 6 or the 7. I know that because when I bought the body, I had to specifically buy the Biddy Designs body that fit the 8. Then I'll go on to my most aggravating buggy. Yeah, that one had a receiver box on the side. That's just the battery and a separate mount. That guy did that as an add-on. Um, so it's not stock that way. That was part of the display thing. It was an upgraded thing that moved it to another box to that for that big fucking lipo, that big 2S. This is my Hot Bodies Lightning buggy, which drives me insane. This thing. Thanks for that, Travis. Though I appreciate that. I did think the same thing when I was buying parts and pieces for that one. Wait a minute, mine looks slightly different. These are Proline Badlands. You can still buy these. I've seen them on Amazon. They're great, but again, I did that video in comparison between the Amazon tires and the Proline tires. These ones are expensive. They're expensive. They're like triple the money. You're looking like $80 Canadian for a set of 4 of these tires, and they're Proline Badlands. They do wear well, but they are heavy. So unless you have the poop to turn these things, they're not the best. They you got to have some stonk behind what you're running, because just the spring weight is a lot. This is a Serial 0.27 in this thing. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I'll see if I can get that closer. The 75 US, yeah, I believe it. I believe that. I got these on Amazon days when they were on sale, and I think I paid close to 80 Canadian for the set, and they're okay, but I don't know if I'd pay the difference, to be honest. This is a crazy engine. I love this thing. It runs like a champ. I actually got it from Luke Shaw, the Bug 404. He had nothing to run it in, and he sent it to me. We traded some stuff back and forth, and that's how I ended up with this thing. But it does run like a champ. And again, it's got the other dynamite pipe. It's filthy. Needs to come out and get polished a bit. But this buggy, I have a tumultuous relationship with this buggy. Either it works great or it fucking runs like a bag of shit. Like the engine always runs good, but it's usually the rest of the buggy. I find the gear ratio in it is just that little bit weird, where I had to play around quite a bit with clutch bells and whatnot to get it to work properly, and it's heavy for what it is in comparison. And the C-hub part of the front end of these things is, I swear to God, it's made of glass. It's horrible. You hit anything from in the wrong angle and it shears the top bolt off where where your suspension arm goes in. And it's not the best. I've had to Healy coil this one on this side, and yeah, it's not one of my favorite buggies. I don't run this one enough to say that this is a great buggy for anybody. This basically is a complete carbon copy of the trophy buggy, and if the trophy buggy is anything like this one, I tell you, I would have that low-C buggy any day of the week over this thing, or any Hyper 7 for that matter. It's just not worth it. I paid too much for this thing. I got it at a Medicine Hat. I got it with the engine in it that was in it was a .21 dynamite. The engine was good, but the rest of the thing was all fucked up and been sitting in storage for a long time. And it was just a hot mess. Like, clutch was messed up, brakes were shot. It was just a mess. Tires that were on it were all dry rotted and flew apart. First time I drove it. Yeah, it's you see some of them. If you see the number on them where they've been written, it's not a raised number. It's just some of them put numbers on them in the order of what number it was in my collection. So this was 38. This was number 38 in my collection of 50. So some of them have numbers on them. That's what the numbers mean. I will get better stickers so that it doesn't look so shitty as just the paint markers. But I did that so I could remember. This one is the one that I said me and a friend of mine who was learning how to run nitro had bought a buggy, and we were racing in the street over Christmas time last year, and we had a dirty head-on collision, and this is the one that I had the head-on collision with. I exploded the bumper, blew the control arms off it, and it was a hot mess. It's what happens when you go from like 40 plus miles an hour to a dead stop. And actually the only thing that happened was, like I said, blew the front bumper, and it knocked the control arms off it. Yeah, I know, G, but I wanted to mark them. I just thought it was kind of fun. Where's that one? Oh. I'll show this one again only because I like this one and nobody ever sees these. If Joe's still on here, he'll recognize this. This is an Acme Condor, which is something you don't see, especially around this side of the world. It came from Europe. This body is an Amazon body, but never had a body that came with it. But it's actually surprisingly well built piece of machinery. Like, the battery tray is really cool. All the electronics are all linked together. The way the diff assembly is put together. Giant fuel tank. The anodizing's in really nice shape. It handles really well. The battery box is kind of all tucked together. That's an SH 21, really tiny cooling head. But it's a really good handling kit. And again, these are Amazon wheels and tires. Look just like Pro Lines. If you didn't have any idea, you wouldn't know the difference. Has the strangest remote with it. I actually haven't run this one in a while. This season. I'm kind of busy with the other ones. It does kind of look like, it kind of reminds me of an old LX. I agree. Because the way the back end is put together here, it kind of looks like an LX. Big piece that goes across. Like I said, it's a super well built kit for what it is, for an Acme. I kind of think of Acme like the AMC of nitro buggies, because they kind of use different people's stuff. Like use an SH engine, they use it's kind of like a ofna center diff style, you know. But it handles really well. I do like how the control arms, the strut towers are connected to the top. Yeah, I like it too. And they're surprisingly. I don't even know if Acme even sells nitro stuff anymore, or even anything anymore. I've never, maybe not over here, but maybe in Europe. But looks like I should probably check the oil in the rear of this thing. I like, and then this cheap ass body from Amazon fits it really well. I didn't even have to do anything to it. It fit right on it. The engine compass. Oh, what size tires are they? They're just 1/8 buggy tires. I think they don't even know they have a brand on them. They're just Amazon. I think I just put in 1/8 buggy tires, and then you go looking for the pin style. And then you can buy glued or not glued. So. Here's one for you, OG. This is a ofna Pirate. You don't see very often. And again, that's a Hyper 21 turbo engine. You had one of these, OG? They're tough to find now. I wanted one because I had one as a kid, and so I ended up picking this one up from a fella in Edmonton. And it's so fun. The size of this thing, like it's so small, and to have a 21 in it from stock is super crazy. These paddle tires are so fun in the loose dirt and in the field. I thought for sure that these would just disappear, and they actually have held up remarkably well. And it even still has the Airtronics servos in it from back in the day. It's a super fun little thing. It's super squirrely when you drive it though, like because it's so short and it's fun, but it's super squirrely. Ow, that was under my fingernail. Is anybody getting out running anything today? I know it's gorgeous weather here. Twenty years ago it was $300 or $400. Yeah, I think I only paid. Geez, I want to think that I only paid $200 for this thing. Now, what time is it? Oh, you're gonna unbox the Ravager tomorrow? That'll be cool, OG. I'd like to see that. What time? Are you doing it live or are you just gonna do it on a video? Oh, you did do that same thing, Compass? You put number stickers on your stuff? I mean, I did have some number stickers, but I ran out. I didn't have enough to do everything. Yeah, I did tell you to do that, OG. Yeah, I agree. Great minds. Now, I know I can't stay as long as I'd like to today, but we normally fire something up every week. What do you guys want to fire up today? I mean, it doesn't have to be ofna. It could be something else. It could be a monster truck. Could be a buggy. Could be truggy. You want to see the techno? I knew Travis. I knew somebody was going to ask for that techno. I just had a feeling. The techno's still dirty, so it suits me fine. I even think my radio's still set for it. Turn you guys around. Make sure I'm in frame. Well, you hate the techno? You know, I'd be torn, OG, between the Techno or the Mugen, to be honest with you. The Mugen's a good buggy as well. This one doesn't even need much heat. That was so good. That was so solid. Joe, you got to head out, buddy? Well, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. I knew you'd like that, John. I hope it's still as good as it was when you had it. This thing is such a beast. It is such a good. That's why I couldn't resist buying the new Reds. Just because this engine, I'm so impressed with it. I do recommend it to anybody. Yeah, I agree, Compass. Here, I got one more thing before I go. Today, I'm just gonna turn you guys back around. So, yeah, I got the 521 is what I got coming. Actually, I have it in the house. Hey, you. So, I don't know if anybody follows Ryan Lutz on his YouTube forums and stuff, but so I put these in day before yesterday. These are original ofna wheels. No, it's not food. These are original Hyper 7 wheels. So the tires were shot. So I got new tires from them. Actually, I don't have any problems with my fuel bottles leaking. I keep them all full all the time. So Ryan showed these. So if you soak these, buy yourself a little container. This is just a cheap one from the dollar store, and I filled it with acetone. Cut the tires off with a pair of scissors. Put them in here 2 days ago, but you can see the bead just pulls right off. So it took all the glue. So these ones will be ready for new tires. See, all the rubber's gone. Just pull the beads off. Comes off like nothing. Hi, Yvette. Thanks for coming. You can see these wheels will be ready for new tires. And these, I'll be able to clean these all up, and I'll be able to reuse these originals. Yeah, then I tried boiling them, you know, and I found it doesn't fucking work. Like I tried boiling them before, and man, does it ever fucking stink the house up. And I'm not doing that again. But see, look, there's all my beads. There's all these in the trash. Let these soak for a bit, for another day, and then it'll take all the residual glue that's left in the beads. And he was showing it. He said, as long as you keep this lid sealed, you can use the same stuff over and over again. This is actually my second set of wheels and tires that are super clean. You know, my other set of Pro lines came out like new. Yeah, I don't, man, I tell you, I wouldn't want to do that in the house. Jesus did that stink the house up. Yeah, no, I find unless somebody used really shitty glue or the glue is really, really old, that boiling thing doesn't work. It just doesn't pull together. I mean, I've tried a couple different methods, and I find if you cut the tire off, like Ryan says in his video, it fits in a reasonable size container, and you can do all four wheels at once. Actually, my brother works in the Michelin plant, so I hear you, Hugh. Yeah, I have a whole collection of fuel bottles that from random stuff from collections of shit. I would be tired of smelling rubber. Hugh, I don't blame you there. I tried to boil them in the house one time, and then I won't do it again. Just gonna put the body back on that Techno. Actually, I'll leave it off so that I don't forget to take the fuel out of it. Well, guys, I hate to dart. I know a few of you just got on here, but I gotta my son's up and I gotta finish fixing his car before so he can go back to his hometown and have a look at that. So I want to head for the week, but I will be back again next Sunday, next Sunday at 2, same time. So next week, I think I might try next week and take a buggy out and try this live in the field, provided not too shady, and then we can actually go out and run something light live. What do you guys think of that? Like my friend's shop will still be available next week because he hasn't got any doors yet. We'll go down to that building and run some stuff, and that would be fun. And then we can see if we can break some shit. Maybe I'll bring a ramp. Oh, it's okay, Hugh. I do appreciate you coming at all, buddy. Next, if this time is not working for people, please let me know. I can always move the time, or we can move it to another day. But I just would like to stick to a certain time slot because I don't want John stuff through the week, and I don't want to interfere with hybrid stuff because I know he's got Friday and Saturday just nailed, and I don't really want to take his stuff away from him. So I do appreciate it. I will make sure this gets set to public. For whatever reason, it gets set to private during the live, and then goes back to private afterwards. I don't fucking understand why, but call out challenge. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with it, what to do for the call out challenge, but I'm still leaning towards a high speed buggy challenge. I know that's not one of OG's favorite things, but I think how everybody seems to have a buggy. I know that Compass doesn't have one, and Rinks doesn't have one yet, but I think he's going to get one. Ooh, that'd be cool, OG. You work it's good for me every other week. I work every other weekend. Oh, okay. Well, that works, you. I tried to keep it around this time because it's not too late for the European people. You get like Joe and stuff likes to come to it, and it's not too late where he is, and it's still Sunday, so. I do appreciate everybody coming and spending some time with me on Sunday. I hope everybody has a great work week and can join me again next week. If somebody needs me to jump on and do a quick live through the week because you have a question for something, feel free, shoot me a message, give me a shout. I'm willing to help out anytime I can if there's something, or if you need some parts or pieces or some help finding some shit, let me know. Ooh. Oh gee, that's risky business, buddy. Good luck. I don't like high jump competitions. I remember back in the day I jumped a house, and it was expensive. All right, guys. You have a great weekend. Thanks again for coming.